I still remember the day I stepped into the Curtis Institute of Music, Philadelphia, with stars in my eyes, dreaming of becoming a world-renowned musician. Little did I know, my experience would be a never-ending nightmare. As I began my journey, I was struck by the poor assessment of talent. It was as if they were more concerned with filling seats than fostering growth. The faculty's lack of interest in student development was palpable. They were too busy polishing their own reputations to care about ours. The pressure cooker environment was suffocating. The cutthroat audition process left students feeling demoralized, regardless of talent. I saw friends break down, their confidence shattered by the constant comparison to peers who seemed to have it all. The anxiety was palpable, the weight of expectation crushing us all. And then there was the issue of financial aid. Even with a full scholarship, I was left scraping by in an expensive city. The administration was shockingly unhelpful, leaving us to fend for ourselves. It was like they were waiting for us to fail. The dorm life was dismal. Cramped, old, and poorly maintained, it felt like we were living in a relic of the past. And don't even get me started on Philadelphia itself. The city was overwhelming, and Curtis offered little support in navigating its complexities. But what really took the cake was the Curtis sound. It was as if they were trying to mold us into carbon copies, stifling our individuality and creativity. The lack of diversity was staggering. It was like we were trapped in a time warp. And after graduation, what then? The post-graduation career support was lackluster at best. We were left to fend for ourselves with no guidance or direction. It was like they had given up on us. I remember feeling like a product, not a person. The prestige of Curtis Institute of Music, Philadelphia, came at a steep emotional toll. We were mere pawns in their game of reputation and power. As I look back, I realize that the problems ran deeper than just the faculty or administration. It was a cultural issue, a culture of elitism and exclusivity that permeated every aspect of the institution. I am not the only one who suffered. I've spoken to countless others who have had similar experiences. It's time to expose the truth, to shine a light on the dark underbelly of Curtis Institute of Music, Philadelphia. So, dear listeners, I ask you, are you tired of institutions that prioritize prestige over people? Are you fed up?
If you leave the Curtis Institute gates thinking the neighborhood will cradle you in warm, small city charm, the sidewalk corrects that fantasy fast. Businesses around here feel like they were designed by someone who read about hospitality in a manual, then threw the manual into the Schuylkill. They look fine on the outside, marble counters, Edison bulbs, the occasional velvet rope, but step inside and the air itself seems to sigh, please leave quickly. Take the Fashion District, the closest thing to a living room for the block. The building is new, glassy, and already exhausted. Walk the upper floors and you will swear you hear your own footsteps echo twice, once off the tile and once off the vacancy. Stores open late, close early, or simply never unlock the directory list shops that evaporated months ago like they were never real. People drift past Burlington Coat Factory like ghosts who forgot what they came to buy. Try to sit for a moment and security materializes from thin air, asking if you are loitering while you are literally holding shopping bags. One woman, still numb from her husband's funeral, paused in a jewelry kiosk to decide on an engraving. 2 guards escorted her out for lingering. Another visitor begged to use a restroom at 8:50 in the morning and was told the toilets wake up at 9:45. So if your bladder operates on human time, the Mall kindly suggests you pay SEPTA fare and pee at Jefferson Station. The food court charges $10 for a single hot dog, then the hot dog stand closes forever, as if ashamed. The whole place feels like a social experiment. How long will you tolerate being a customer and a suspect at the same time? Rescue Spa, only 2 corners east, sells the opposite promise, relaxation so pure it justifies a week's rent on a facial. Instead, you get the Curtis Corridor's special cocktail, astronomical prices, assembly line indifference, and a quiet punishment if you complain. One bride booked a simple eyebrow threading 3 weeks before her wedding. The spa called the day before to say the technician would be out, leaving her to scramble for symmetrical brows while tasting tears. Inside the rooms, things get darker. A woman with natural curls was told the flat irons max at 325 degrees, roughly the temperature used to toast a slice of bread, so the stylist simply yanked her curls with a round brush until the hairline gave up in patches. Another guest paid $200 for a massage that felt like being rocked in a canoe by someone wearing acrylic claws. When she asked for lighter pressure, the therapist said, "Sure," then ended the session 2 minutes early and vanished, forgetting even the ceremonial glass of water. Ask for a refund and you discover the spa's true talent, blocking your phone number faster than they ever unblocked a pore. Restaurants in the Strip weaponize small print. At Dizengoff, the hummus is solid, but the menu hides a 20% service charge. That is not the tip. The server still circles the blank line, so you double tip while your brain does sad math. Order the lamb sandwich, and you receive 3 translucent slices hiding inside a pita the size of a wallet. Basically a culinary treasure hunt where X marks nothing. If you complain, the host shrugs with the confidence of someone who knows you will still pay, because the next option is a vending machine at the dorm. Cocktails at the Randstad room look like they belong in a 1920s postcard until you meet the gatekeeper, a hostess who decides, by mysterious astrology, whether you are worthy of entry. Show up on your honeymoon at 12:54 a.m., a full hour before Google says last call, and she will wave you away while cockroaches wave back from the doorway. One couple received a text that their table was ready, rushed back from the bar next door, and were told the wait was suddenly another hour, as if time itself had been rewritten by a bored djinn.
Inside, bartenders roll eyes so hard you fear the orbits will stick. Ask for a menu clarification, and you are called a red flag, which is code for person who still expects service. Even coffee, usually the last refuge of the broke student, joins the conspiracy. Elixir Roasters built its brand on Instagram pink strawberry matcha, but the baristas guard it like state secrets. Step to the counter and the cashier exhales as if you interrupted heart surgery. One first-timer asked what the difference was between an iced latte and the signature oat milk. Matcha. The reply was a sigh, an eye roll, and a turned back. They once poured sink water into an Americano. When the customer noticed, the barista said, "It's filtered, bro," which is the coffee equivalent of the dog ate. I am looking into crimes near Curtis Institute of Music, Philadelphia. And it's making me feel so heavy inside, you know? Like, this area around Curtis Institute of Music, Philadelphia, it's supposed to be all pretty and cultural, but the businesses here, they look normal, but they hide these scary traps. Like these wire transfer stores, right? They look so official with their big signs and everything. But this man, Ed, he went in there twice and they took everything. Everything. He believed these phone calls, you know? They told him scary stories, like his family was in trouble and he needed to send money right away. So he went to these stores near Curtis Institute of Music, Philadelphia, and sent over $70,000. My heart hurts thinking about it. He probably went home and just sat there, maybe stared at the wall. His whole life savings gone, and those scammers, they were probably somewhere laughing, spending his money. I bet they never got caught, you know? They probably moved on to trick someone else. And then there's this hedge fund place, right in Rittenhouse Square, super close to Curtis Institute of Music, Philadelphia. This woman, Brenda, she had this fancy office, and people would just walk in off the street. She promised them big money, like their investments would grow super fast. Over $100 million she took. The people who gave her money probably felt so smart at first, like they found this amazing opportunity. But then, they probably started calling and getting no answers. Maybe some of them needed that money for their kids' college or to buy a house.